that we could boil down the essence of Christmas is being a story about speech, about words. I mean, you really want to boil it down so it's about Jesus, but this is another way that you can boil it down, being about words. So Hebrews begins with that sweeping claim. Long ago, God spoke to our ancestors in many and varied ways by the prophets, meaning God is a speaking, communicative God, one who has always been reaching out, addressing, calling, and revealing. But then Hebrews makes its astonishing turn. In these last days, he's spoken to us by a son. So not another message, not a clearer explanation or a refined or expanded set of instructions or laws, a son. And John's Gospel presses even deeper into that mystery. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. So God's self-expression is not an abstract concept or an idea. God's Word is personal, relational, and alive. And then that stunning line. The Word became flesh and lived among us. That is not sentimentality, it is ultimate sacramentality. And it is scandal. This is the Christian claim that the deepest truth about God is disclosed not in raw power, but in self-giving presence and life, a lived life. Hebrews says that this Son is the reflection of God's glory and the exact imprint of God's very being. Which means that if we want to know what God is like, we do not look behind Jesus or beyond him or to the sides, we look at him. And what do we see? We see, in the baby Jesus to begin, God choosing to be held, just as those arms will reach out and hold. God choosing to laugh and cry, choosing to be open to hurt, to grow, to eat and drink. There's nothing abstract about that. It means that Christmas is not simply about God entering history, it's about God affirming humanity from the inside. From the inside. That's why some of the early church fathers dared to say that what God has not assumed, God has not healed. What God has not assumed, meaning taken on, God has not healed. And by assuming our flesh, our vulnerability, our dependence, God has committed to the redemption of the whole created order from within. And this helps us hear correctly that other line that the angel gives Joseph. You are to name him Jesus, for he will save his people from their sins. Not just forgive them or overlook them, but save them. That is, to rescue us from the power of sin that distorts and wounds, alienates, diminishes life. Sin is that which fractures our relationships with God, with each other, with the whole of creation. Jesus does not save us from humanity, from our humanity. He saves us by entering it, healing it, and ultimately carrying it home. God chose flesh. So flesh matters. God chose humanity. So humanity matters. God chose genuine relationship. So relationship matters. This is why Christmas quietly but persistently challenges every system that treats people as disposable, inconvenient, or invisible. This is why the church cannot proclaim incarnation without also attending to suffering bodies, fragile lives, and those pushed to the margins. And John is honest. The light shines in the darkness. Doesn't pretend the darkness isn't real. He doesn't explain it away. He insists, though, it doesn't have the final word. And this is where Christmas meets the Eucharist, which we will celebrate. Because the Word didn't just become flesh once. In a sense, the Word continues to give himself to the church, to the world, in broken bread and poured out wine, and in people. The same Christ through whom God created the worlds, the same Christ who sustains all things by his powerful word, places himself again in our hands today and every Sunday. That's a gift that Father Christmas can't give us. This gift is given so we can be his body. We can be his body in the world. That our words, whether spoken or demonstrated and lived out, can reflect the true word. Christmas, then, is not finished when the carols end and the Christmas trees come down and the decorations are finished. Christmas continues wherever Christ is received, trusted, and lived. To all who received him, he gave power to become children of God. And Word made flesh, the flesh given for the life of the world, we glimpse the truth that is at the heart of everything. The universe is God-centered. It is meaning-filled. And it is held together by love. And that is truly good news of great joy. Merry Christmas to you all.